Hey, welcome back to Last Call 76. And what makes today so special? Today's Veterans Day, a day that we've all earned here, and we're really glad to spend this time with you today. We've got some great content and some really interesting stories I think you're going to like. But, you know, what I'm really excited about is getting to wear this jersey. This was Command Sergeant Major Dan O'Brien's jersey back in the day, but what I love about it is I get a chance to represent the NCO Corps, which frankly is the reason I had any kind of success in my career. It was done with my peers, my NCO peers that were phenomenal, that taught me, that led me, and that frankly lifted me up throughout my entire time in the military. And I am appreciative until my dying day and beyond what the NCO Corps has done for me.
But at the same time, us NCOs couldn't do it without you guys who trusted us. We're going to talk to UFC, but I talked about last night on Facebook.
Yeah.
With Colton, and our officers gave us a chance, and they were like so supportive of us to let Colton do what he did, let us do the clothing company, let us do all those things.
Of course,
those officers really trusted in us. And I posted it actually on my Facebook. And there was some big news that came down last night, too. I'm maybe in the running for something.
Nice. Very good.
I'm going to keep it on the DL.
Keep it on the DL. Keep it coming back. I like that.
But let's talk to UFC.
Well, you know.
281.
I know that you just breezed past a Rock'em Sock'em robot game, which is getting me ready for 281.
I'm going to give it back to you.
I don't know if you saw that left hook of doom that caught you there. That's the glove of victory right there. But look, I'm excited about the UFC. And look, one of the reasons I'm excited about it is because I'm learning about the UFC. You've had a chance to work inside the UFC to really understand the strategy, to really understand the fighters and how it works. I'll be the first to admit, I'm one of those guys that watches it when it's on. I'm like, that's awesome. But all those details that are in there, Dan, they're lost on me, man. And so I'm hoping that you can educate me, especially with 281, because I know that this fight card coming up is going to be a monster, an absolute monster.
It has the potential to be the best card of the year.
Man.
And that's why it's at the Garden, baby. Dana is a genius. If this card goes the way it's supposed to go, it's going to be amazing. And the pay-per-view buys are going to be through the roof because the strategies that have to play out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
If everybody's on weight,
yeah.
If everybody makes weight, we got 2 championships on the line. But there's so many other brilliant fighters that are fighting on the card as well. I mean, Frankie Edgar's doing his farewell.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
So what I love about this, too, is the diversity of weight classes and different fighting styles. And, you know, in my travels around the world, it's so interesting to me that the female Chinese fighter that is fighting... Wei Li
unbelievable
is everywhere around the world. So she's probably the top, I'm going out on a limb here just from what I've seen, but the top Chinese export as far as entertainment goes. Wei Li's face is something I've seen for a while. That country stands behind her, and it goes back to something we talked about in an earlier episode of how global the UFC is and how cool it is.
It's unbelievable. So that fight, though, if I was breaking it down as far as Carl, I'm sorry. If she can't grab her early and often, she's going to get marked up. She's going to get marked up so bad. Rose Namajunas took the day off. I don't know what Pat Barry, I don't know what Trevor Whitman was doing on that fight, or if it was just Rose, because they are some of the best trainers in the world. But that night, I don't know what happened, but I'm telling you, somebody's getting marked up on Saturday night, and it's not going to be Wei Li. This is going to be a shellacking. That's my predictions.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I love Carla Esparza. But if I may, this is no different than Ronda Rousey. She was amazing. She started the women MMA.
She put it on the map.
She did. But we also had Gina Carano and we had Cyborg, right? Give them credit as well. But when Ronda came in, it was an armbar fest. But what people don't know, it's Veterans Day. Liz Carmouche. Oh, see, let's talk a little history here. She was a Marine.
Really?
In the UFC.
Happy birthday, Marine Corps, yesterday.
Okay, but check this out. She was this close to a rear naked choke, and there would have been no Ronda Rousey. And that was one of her early fights, and nobody remembers it. That's a Marine that served our country with us. But
That's amazing.
But what ends up happening, though, is Ronda Rousey, right? Once people realize, all we got to do is figure out how to strike her and not let her grab us.
Sure.
Holly Holm kicked her to sleep.
That's right.
And then she went off to supposedly learn how to strike. And I'm not being mean here.
Yeah.
But there's a skill in that. And it's a lifetime skill. Let me just finish.
Yeah, go.
And then Miesha Tate, one of my favorites.
Right.
Cupcake. She is
badass, man. She's awesome.
Well, until strikers got in there.
That's right.
And this is what's going to happen to Carla Esparza. That's where I'm going.
I love it.
You can't teach the fundamentals of striking in 5 months. It's no different than a kid like you and me start playing in, football, Pop Warner, to make it into college, or or European NFL practice squad, or whatever you may do.
Too much technical reps and sets.
So Ronda, Miesha Tate, and now Carla Esparza. Although Ronda is not a wrestler, so to speak, she's a jiu-jitsu Olympian.
Yeah.
Or, pardon me, a judo Olympian.
Yeah.
But when it comes to raw strikers like Weili, think of so many others that are out there, like Nunez.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't learn that skill in 5 months in some training camp.
Yeah.
If she can't grab her and grab her often, I'm telling you, see those gloves right there? Those gloves are going to be worn, same specs and everything, and Weili is going to mark her up. What do you think?
You said something in an earlier episode I want to go back to, and you talked about how the fight game in UFC went from being at arm's distance all the way down to like a game of millimeters.
It really
Which
is.
goes right to the point that you're making right now. There has been so much technical improvement and evolution in the fight game. When you talk about Ronda Rousey, what you taught me many episodes ago was exactly that. Hey, this game has gotten so technical and so close now that what got you through earlier just is not enough to get you the championship.
She didn't evolve on the other side.
Yeah.
And there's no way she could ever be in the UFC as a champion again.
Right.
Her time has passed. As much as I love Miesha Tate, huge fan of hers, but she could never be a champion again.
Yeah.
As much as she wants
to. It's too competitive.
But they're not strikers.
Yeah.
And they don't understand. All three of these individuals I'm talking about, they all sit on the center line. They don't know how to move left and right.
Yeah.
Even though they go through these training camps and they're boom, 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 and you see them elbowing, they don't show it in the fight, bro. You know why? Because the other person is such a decisive striker.
Yeah, you go back to your basics.
You go back to the one thing that you know, and you know what it is? Shoot and shoot often.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Carla Esparza will not. Here's my prediction. She will not be the champion 24 hours, or 31 hours from now.
There's 1 billion people plus sitting over in China right now that strongly agree with you, and I have a strong suspicion they're going to throw one heck of a party after this fight tonight.
And if I'm wrong, and I'll gladly admit it. But so the other fights, though.
So I'll just say emotionally, I'm pulling for you, Carla, and that's not a poke in the eye to the country of China, but go Esperanza. But let's talk about the big fight that's going on. The last Stylebender versus Pereira. This is what I like about the last Stylebender. This guy is not afraid to defend his title. What is this? I think his 6th time that he's going to defend it, which is awesome. He's not shying away from anybody.
No, and he knows because he lost when he moved up. Remember?
Right.
But so here's the one thing that I love about the Bender.
Yeah.
The dude doesn't duck fights.
Yeah. Doesn't duck.
And as you notice, as he's getting older,
and
he's maturing through his skill set,
learning and evolving.
Right. But this guy is so amazing to listen to, though.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, whatever, talk all you want. He used to talk a lot to build his. Now he doesn't care.
He doesn't have to.
Because the Stylebender, when he comes in, you just don't know what to expect.
Right.
And I'm telling you, and he's got his whole crew there, and it works for Khabib too. You see how all those guys stick together.
The tribe comes together.
Do you remember when the Gracies first started?
Yeah, they would come out and
like this. They would walk each other.
Yeah,
that helps, man.
Yeah,
when you don't just bring the UFC limits you to one corner.
Sure.
And then you got to pay your other guy or the other guy. Yeah. But they don't care anymore. It's because they get to stay in the game the whole time.
That's awesome.
And they got their friends. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
And they may all be Chipotle and Colt will tell you these stories and some of my other fighters. I'll sit there and eat a damn Little Caesar's pizza in front of them, and they're eating like nothing.
Right.
And we sit outside the door and eat our pizza and everything.
I can't finish a slice. I guess I'm just gonna have to throw it away.
But what's so funny about it though is you build this camaraderie, much like in the Army.
Yeah.
And it's all about keeping them laughing, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some bad things that get said too. Because when you're cutting like 30 pounds, everybody says, "Hey, forget all the bad things I said to you when I was cutting weight."
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is in that path.
You're going for a goal, but that is a physically
horrible.
and psychologically horrible place to be.
It is, because you are actually literally depleting your body. And what's funny about it is, but if you don't make it funny, and you don't keep the guy in the fight or the girl in the fight during that time, you got to have support casts to be able to lose 30 pounds in 6 weeks.
So let me ask you a question, common man question. They're fighting at 185 tonight.
Yeah.
What will they actually fight at when the fight starts? So they weigh in.
Yeah.
There's a short period of time.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Or more if they're main event.
Because they're main event in the evening.
Right.
What is the weight swing from when they weigh in, they make weight, to that next night when they're throwing hands?
Okay, so Adesanya doesn't really cut a ton of weight.
Okay. Because he's naturally in that zone.
Yeah, he's in that zone. He likes his body.
Good place to be.
Frankie Edgar's another guy like that.
Really?
Yeah, they just don't do massive weight cuts.
Okay.
But it is not unheard of to weigh in at 185 and fight at 205, 197.
Wow.
But let me put it in perspective for you, though. So for me, I could go in a sauna. I'm not going to do Ronda Rousey, what she said, right? And said I could lose 21 pounds in a day, but you can.
Yeah.
I know I can do 15.
Jeez.
And
Louise.
I'll just get up in the morning at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll suit up.
Yeah.
Throw a bunch out. Sweet Sweat. By the way, Sweet Sweat, I love your product. Sponsor me. Or Albaline back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'll just bag up and I'll go walk for 12 hours, sit in the sauna, and I'll be 15 pounds light. But here's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
A gallon of water is easy to drink when you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
And that's 8 pounds.
Yeah.
So here's the difference, what a lot of people don't understand. And then if you're doing IVs or whatever, rebound over that. So if you weigh in today, like they're going to do it, I think it's 1,500.
Yeah.
Which is 3 o'clock, but it's Veterans Day. We're talking Army.
That's right.
They have till probably maybe 10:45 or 11 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So almost 34 hours?
Yeah, it's a good push. Yeah.
So as soon as they weigh, they can start eating.
They are right back to hydrating and chowing down.
But there's a skill to it. What you don't do is just go to Chipotle or the Denny's.
Yeah.
You eat a little, because your stomach has shrunk during that process.
You don't get sick.
Right. So small meals incrementally.
Yeah.
And then you drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Right? And what ends up happening, though, is let's say you go through 3 gallons in the next 32 hours. Guess how many pounds that is? I just told you.
Yeah.
4 pounds.
Holy cow. Now, is that sluggish pounds or is that
because it's
trainable pounds?
It's strategic in the sense that you rehydrate very slowly.
Okay.
But you have 36 hours so your body, still can function. The last thing you want to do is drink 2 gallons of water and go to Denny's because that's not good. Your body can't consume it.
You can't absorb it the right way.
So what you want to do is it's incremental steps.
Yeah.
So you would, let's say, as soon as you weigh in, give me a bottle of water, 20 ounces. Let me chill for a while.
Yep.
Let's go walk around. Let's stay active so it digests correctly.
Yeah, it's moving into your extremities.
Give me a couple pieces of sushi.
Okay.
Something that's easy on my stomach.
Okay.
Maybe a little soup or something, or a little bit of chicken. Something that's not going to fill me.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do is be a bloated 24 pounds.
Take one shot to the gut and it's over. Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, that's the strategy.
And
Am I right, Nina? Okay.
And they train at that, say, 205, even though they cut to 185. So do they train? So when they're in their training camp 3 months before, they're training at the weight that they're going to be fighting at as they've added the weight back up. Is that right?
It depends.
It depends on where they're at.
So if you do a 16-week training camp, like Carla Esparza had, she did 16 weeks because she's really working on or striking, working on some other things she's about to face. Right? And I don't never bag on her. She's a great kid. But what I'm getting at, though, they'll practice little weight cuts in between.
Interesting. Okay.
Just to see how they feel.
Yeah, right,
so 16 weeks. So let's say I'm at week 12.
Yeah.
I know I'm 137 as a woman.
Yep.
I want to see if I can bust 10 pounds in the next week. But I still have 9 more weeks to see it again.
Yeah.
So now with all the calorie burn, all the training, I'm going to get a lot of that naturally.
Right.
But you got to remember, women are different than men. I'm not going to go down that road. But if something happens for that month and the water comes back on, then you got to test that. So if you're in a 16-week thing, you just got to see.
It's more complex.
You got to see how your body adjusts for that water gain and that water reduction.
And clearly, the 20 pounds, say, that you add back on for the male fighters.
Right.
That's got to be an advantage, I would assume.
But they're all doing it.
They're all doing it.
So,
that's right.
So here's the deal, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's cutting weight.
Yeah.
This is a known fact.
It's just a question of how much you cutting.
Right. So, like Khabib.
Yeah.
Khabib would walk around and look, I don't care what anybody says, man. I've seen it in person. Khabib is like Patty the Batty.
Yeah.
These dudes cut like 30, 40, 50 pounds.
Holy smokes.
Don't be misunderstood.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do, though. It's a science. Nutrition and everything else. Yeah. But Khabib, look at him right now.
Yeah. He's
walking around probably at 195 to 205.
Sure.
Colton was walking around at like 190.
Yeah.
It cuts down to 155.
Man,
but it's not
wild.
like, but you're not starving yourself. It's just you're eating little meals.
It's a process.
But you're eating to win. You're not eating
with the goal. Right.
You're not eating for morale. We'll put it that
Sure.
way.
You're not stressing.
Everything is measured to a science. There's certain things like chia seeds you would never think that no one's probably even heard of them. Kefir yogurt.
Yeah.
Certain kind of nuts
that help that process.
But give you the omegas. All these things are a science, though, in how you put them in your body. Spinach at this time. A little bit of fish, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Timing, programming.
But when you're in that moment, you could actually go 6 to 12 meals a day. I remember when I was training.
So you're feeling good. Your energy.
I was waking up every 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And just putting a handful of food, just this much.
Yeah.
It just kept me going to the next side.
So you're not feeling tired or hungry. Like it's just you've got the fuel
actually, believe it or not, the first like 4 weeks is a drag for some, maybe 2 weeks. But after that, you just kind of live around it.
Yeah.
And then you actually feel better because you're not drinking. You're not eating bad pizza. You're not doing anything.
Right.
And then you're
running clean.
Like when I cut like I think it was 57 pounds, 47 pounds, and put like 30 of them back on like in a week. Just to compete. But what I did though is I would wake up every 2.5, 3 hours on my alarm.
Wow.
And I'd have a banana, a couple bites, a couple walnuts, a couple almonds, and boom, right back to bed.
Everything's going into this thing.
And then in the morning, I felt so good about it though. Then I can go sit in the sauna for 45 minutes with water and just do hydration. I was fine with it.
All right. I could talk to you about the science all day long because that's fascinating, but let's get right to the point.
Get to it.
Style Bender, Pereira coming in undefeated. He's undefeated.
He knocked Style Bender out. Just so you know, in kickboxing. That was in a ring, not an octagon.
So this is, who do you have? Who do you got? Gun to your head. Not that I have one on me, so I don't. It's a
I will tell you this. This is probably the hardest decision you got to make. Pereira is a beast. Right? They call him the boogeyman for a reason. I just hope he makes weight.
Okay.
I hope his man. I can't go against Adesanya, man. I love the guy. He's amazing. He's fun to have. He's almost like Anderson Silva 2.0.
Sure.
And he's good for the sport. This guy doesn't bring nothing to the UFC. Stylebender is a market across the world.
He's a brand for sure.
He's a brand. And so for that, I'm hoping his training camp, right, with Hooker and some of the other players in there.
Yeah, he's bringing in all pros.
Oh, man.
They're amazing.
I've got to, I can't go against them. I'm taking them. I'm taking them.
All right, so look, I agree with you. If look, you're the king until somebody snatches the crown.
That's right.
And I've seen no indications that this guy is going to lose his crown. So, hey, this is going to be an awesome fight. I can't wait. And I appreciate the education on it.
But there's one more fight. We got to do it.
Oh, hit me.
The third fight. Poirier. Dustin.
Of course, Dustin.
And then, I don't know, man. Another tough fight.
Put emotion aside. Think logic here. Who do you have?
I will say this. Coming out of Lafayette, I think Dustin gets it done. But let me tell you, Dustin is going to get the green wave from Tulane, right, on his team. Right?
Roll wave.
Roll wave. Florida's waves for the last 6 weeks, right?
That's right.
I just don't know. It's going to be.
He's a great fighter. I've always loved watching him fight. He's got a lot of road miles on him too, though.
He does, and you know the thing about it, I love him. He's got his hot sauce. He's cooking meals for Thanksgiving.
He's fun, yeah.
But Chandler is so good.
Yeah.
In the sense, if he's in shape.
Yep.
And if Dustin could get through that first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the Michael Chandler barrage.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man, Dustin is a meticulous striker. And he sits on punches better than anybody in the UFC. People can argue it.
I love it.
All day long, but that dude, if he can get through round 1 with Michael Chandler, he will pick him apart just like he did Conor McGregor. Yep. Just like he did Justin Gaethje. Yep. This dude is for real. And he's from Louisiana, baby.
Which you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And so, look, I agree with you. I think this is probably the best fight card that I've seen in a long time.
Only because stylistically.
Yeah, right. It's a great, diverse set of fighters. It's going to be super.
It's going to make it amazing that Frankie Edgar goes out as one of the greatest ever of all time. And you know what? He's so confident and so happy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
Yeah. Oh, me too. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely.
All right, so that's a good session.
All right, let's do it, man. Absolutely. Good luck to all the fighters.